guys, I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend. I am. I've been out in the woods again today, third day in a row, but that's my happy place, and I go out there. And today I was actually enjoying nature and being out, but also I was looking for something particular. Some people know it as old man's beard, which is Usnea Lichen. Has fantastic medicinal uses, which I'm going to go over, and things like that. It is confused. Sometimes people mix up and mistaken one thing for it, and it's not. So I'm going to go over that, how to identify it properly, uses for it, how to use it, and things like that. It is antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. So let me go. So this is it. This one's a little dry. Comes in little pieces. There's different things to identify. You will see these little, let's see, I think I saw these little flat pieces on here. That's a good way to identify it also. That is kind of the little discs that are on there. That's kind of when it's going to reproductive seeding. You'll see those. Now with this, you will find this on, branches. It loves stuff like oaks. Hickory loves apple trees. If you have apple trees where you live, you are going to find this. It's going to be on the branches. Sometimes you can find it the best time to find it is like after there's been like a storm or something and some branches have fallen. You will find this on the branches. That's usually how you get it. And there's a lot of things that kind of look like it. So let me go over, when you have this, it's the only one like this, that this one's a little dry, especially if it's a fresh one, it's still attached to something. When you pull one of these little things, you'll feel it give. It feels like, kind of like elastic. But with that, let me find something dark and put behind this. And the only one, and you'll know it's for sure what it is it'll have these, do you see at the top there? It has these little white cords inside of it that feel like elastic. None of the other ones have that white cord. Hopefully you can see that. That's how you know it's it. And it kind of has an elastic. So when you pull these little pieces, you go to stretch them apart, you'll feel that kind of elastic, and the fresher it is, you'll be able to tell when it's not as crunchy dry. You'll see that little white cord in there when you start pulling it apart. And then you've got the correct thing. People, it is not Spanish moss. Spanish moss has that grayish and it just, breaks. That isn't the same thing. And this kind of has different shades of like a light greenish color. Now, one of the things people mistake it for a lot, and I have this all over my yard, is this is reindeer moss is what I call it. And it's very crunchy. You usually see this on the ground. Sometimes people, because some of it, if you look, you'll think it looks, a lot the same. The Usnea Lichen will have that stretchy, elastic feeling, and it'll have that white band in it. Reindeer moss is crunchy. I don't even know if you can hear it. It's crunchy. You see it falling all over the place. It crumbles. It crumbles apart, and if I go to pull this, that is not it. That is not the same thing, and that is one of the ones that people get. I'm making a mess everywhere, mixed up. So that's how you can tell the difference. Again, if you're not 100% sure of anything that you're foraging or looking for, or I talk about, please leave it alone, because just leave it. If you don't know, leave it alone, or study it more, but don't ingest it or use it. But so, and another thing is, if you see a lot of it in your area, is a good sign for your air quality, because it is so sensitive to air pollution. It can't survive very well. It won't take hold. It doesn't seed properly. So that, that's the indication. If you see this stuff all over the place in your area, it usually means you have pretty good, low pollution in your air pollution, and in that area you find it. So let's go over some of the things it's used for. Now it will, if you're just out, you're out in the field, you're out in the woods, something happens, you get a cut, you can take this right off and put it. It helps to stop bleeding. If you have a wound or something like that, you put it right on there. And again, the properties, antibacterial, antiviral, fungal, it's going to help that. You can make, extracts with oil or alcohol. I will list in the descriptions how to make those, the recipes for those. tinctures, teas, and you can do a spray, which I forgot my little spray thing. You can get little tiny spray bottles like this at like the Dollar Tree or something, just a little tiny ones, or you can get the glass ones. There's different ones. I have one I carry with silver and different things. You can make a spray with this. Usually you do it with their tea or something, and that is a good way to get it for like if you have strep throat or thrush or something in your mouth, or if you've been around a bunch of people in a crowd or something, you can use that as a spray. The big thing with this is it is very concentrated. This is a very strong medicinal plant. Do not, please listen to me, do not take this in large doses for a long period of time. No matter what it is, I don't recommend anyone ever taking it for more than a week. Like if you're doing like a tincture, please, it is very strong. And this one isn't my first go-to for any little, sniffle. This is take the big punch with this one because it's very strong. And but let's go through. So it does prevent and cure different illnesses, strep, staph, MRSA. That's all your bacterial things. It is not going to become like the colloidal silver. It is not going to become resistant. How we got antibiotic resistant, bugs and everything else. That is not going to happen with that. Now, it does not work for gram-negative bacteria, which is stuff like E. coli. It doesn't treat that well. So just keep that in mind. If you have like an E. coli type infection, that's not going to be your go-to. You're going to use something more like a oil of oregano for something like that. Antiviral, it does treat Epstein-Barr virus, EBS. You hear a lot of that stuff like that, or EBV. That is what mono is, and people, almost everybody comes in contact with that in their lifetime. It's clarity in your saliva if you come in contact with it. Some can't shake it. It's one of those things that you can always kind of carry. It does work well for that. All types, of herpes, which is shingles, chickenpox, every type of, there's hundreds of different types of herpes. It works well for that. It's very, very good for antiviral. Respiratory type illnesses, pneumonia, bronchitis. It works for UTIs, bladder, kidney problems or infections. It works well for that. And you can make a poultice, a salve. I got a kiddo trying to walk through. This is life. Go ahead. You can do a salve for your skin infections and things like that. And like I had said before about if you have thrush, it works for, yeast, ringworm, different jock itch, different fungal things you can get on your skin. You can use it for that as well. Do not take or use this if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. That is not recommended for that because, again, it is very strong, and I don't know myself. I do not know personally of any studies of the safety of, pregnancy or breastfeeding, the safety of that. So I'm going to go through, you can do this as, like I said, teas, you can do it, and it does do a good extract even with oil. Tinctures are usually done with some type of alcohol, usually vodka or something like that. And I'm going to list those down below. It's a really good one. If you see it out, don't over harvest this though, because it takes so long for this to grow, and it's very concentrated. So you only need a tiny amount. Please, if you go out and get this, only get what you need, and then use that, and leave the rest for others or different things. Don't over harvest it. Some people do that, and you're not going to use an abundant amount of that. So it's just something else I wanted to share with you guys. I hope everyone's getting out. If it's nice in your area, if it's doable, I think everybody should be outside regularly if you can. We're coming into spring. So something else. I hope it helps you guys. Everyone stay well. God bless, and I will see you next time.